What's wrong with Hungary? Jesus Christ. I mean, that country is something else. I'm not sure you've been following the news, but I'm gonna show it to you momentarily. But just, I want you to sit down and prepare for it, because there is some news that's going on. It's mind-boggling. Every single time. I never get used to it. You know what? I'm gonna show you. There you are. I comprised it in one sentence. It's just... wow. Alright. Let's learn some Hungarian, and in the meantime you'll learn what's going on. Let me just... oh, God. Alright, well, let's start with this. Yeah, that's correct. That's something will be. Definitely. Okay, sure. I mean, if you think about it, this one is and so when you construct a sentence, you don't necessarily, provided that you have enough time, you don't necessarily want to start from the beginning. Just pick out the verbs, for instance, just any random order. And that's, yeah, well, that's not, yeah, well, this is not, the problem with this, that it kind of sounds like voltage. Let me pull up Stucky just to see what's going on here, because yeah, and that would be, I mean, that's not a verb, that is also not a verb, that none of these, but this makes sense. Something was. Hopefully it's was. Sometimes it's were, obviously, because if this is plural, then in English there is no other way. But yeah, anyways, and then I guess this one, that's, most people know this. This is, well, it's not perfect, but yeah, it is or are or something. So that's what we have, and then I guess what the thing that is connected to today's news is that word that you might be familiar with, and that's well, warm or hot. But in this case, when it describes weather, it is indeed hot. And of course, in English, that's how you would express that the weather is hot, or at least in this case was hot. And now it is hot, and then it will be hot. And there you have it. That is our sentence. Now, what did we learn today about Hungary? Well, for one thing, the one thing I never get used to is how hot it is. Well, it could be. And then the thing is, that's an interesting cultural thing. Jokes aside now. It is sad that people in the UK talk about the weather a lot, and when I arrived here, when I started sort of living here, at some point I started to talk about the weather, but it was unintentional, I didn't mean it. And then someone pointed out that, oh, look at you, you're British now talking about the weather and stuff. And I was like, wow, Jesus Christ, really? And it's one thing that if you do something consciously, but it's another thing entirely if you do it. Then I guess the reason, and somebody explained it to me, that it's the weather in the UK, because of the Gulf Stream, because of the oceanic climate, because of all of these lots of factors, it's so changeable. It could be hot in the morning and then like a light shower in the afternoon, or maybe heavy shower, or maybe it's shining, the sun is shining, and it's raining and there is wind. Could be anything. In Hungary, on the other hand, that sentence applies. If it was hot yesterday, it's gonna be hot today, and it's definitely gonna be hot tomorrow. So there is not much reason for people to talk about the weather. However, the thing is that it's quite interesting that people do start talking about the weather when there is something to talk about. And I guess that's the end. That's our time for today, and I'll be off for the weekend, so just don't expect anything, but I'll try. So thanks so very much for sticking with me, and see you later. Bye bye.